Kids in the back with the baby. So I had to do this myself. So, I don't, she's so tech savvy. She's very good at this. Happy Thanksgiving, podcast family. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you because I got to tell you that anytime that you can just be around on Thanksgiving or just be able to spend time with your family, that's a great thing. So if you out there and you with family, then you have reason to celebrate. You have reason to say thank you, whether it's to each other or to God or to Allah, Brahma, Hindu, whomever it is that you believe in, or just to each other. I gotta say that this is one of my best Thanksgiving ever, if not the best. My sister Joanne invited me to Huntsville to celebrate Thanksgiving with her and some of my other siblings. And I can tell you that I went. Kay, my daughter Rhea, and my son Cody. We all went to Huntsville and Brooklyn. We went to Huntsville, and I can tell you we had a wonderful time. I got to tell you that anytime you have, this is my first time really. My family has had so many, um, I said outings, celebrations, parties, remembrance, memorables, and so many get together. And I don't drink and I don't smoke, and a lot of my family do, and I'm not putting anybody down for what they do. I'm pro-choice. I believe in people being able to do whatever say they want to do. So, but either way, I went to Huntsville. We drove to Huntsville. We left here about 10:30. Got there about 12:30. I can tell you that this is one of my best. I gotta say, it's my best Thanksgiving ever. And the reason why I say that, and I'm going all the way back to times when I spent Thanksgiving with my aunts, my uncles, other family members, my mom. This is one of my best. And the reason why I say that, because usually I'm somewhat of an introvert. I'm not really outgoing like that. I prefer to, I believe it or not, I prefer to just spend quiet time just with a few people. Well, this is the one time, and I've went to my family gatherings before, and I usually pop in and pop out. This time I went and I stayed there, and I can tell you I had a wonderful time. I I always knew that my niece Erica could sing. I know my sister can sing. I have a lot of family members can sing, and I can tell you that Gregory came up. My brother Gregory came. My sister Joanne was there. Her daughter Erica and her granddaughter was there. And I can Minnie. She's named after my mom. And I can tell you that they came and they came with their dates, their wives, or their best friends, whomever. And I can tell you that my great nephew was there, and my sister Ro keeps him and her partner, and Rhonda came with her partner. And I can tell you that I had a wonderful time with my family. And my sister Ro, I mean, she's a comedian. I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed all of them. But I gotta take this moment to just tell you about Erica. Erica hit notes so high in a falsetto. I've heard her sing. I have never heard anyone do that. She hit notes so high, she could actually go higher than she did. She hit notes so high that the drum that's in my ear, so we're gonna say the eardrum, literally started vibrating. It was so high. It was truly amazing how she could hit those notes and hold them that long. She sung, I guess, Kay, tell the name of those songs. Her and my sister Joanne did this song by. She can do Tina Marie better than Tina Marie, and Tina Marie could hit those high notes. My niece Erica can hit notes higher than. Yes, I'm saying it, and it is the truth. If it wasn't said, if it wasn't so, I would not say it. Kay had a good time. Um, and she had a good time. And Brooklyn, I never seen Brooklyn so quiet and observing everything around. I mean, she was quiet. She was smiling. Here's my daughter is 5, 6 weeks old, and she's doing all these things that it's truly amazing to see her do that. And but I had a good and happy Thanksgiving to you, Mike, and John Barber. Uh, it's saying congratulations to Terry Rogers. And so John Barber, I kind of like I'm a little bit confused, but either way, I want to thank all of you for watching. I want you all to just tell somebody to tell somebody um to oh yeah, thank you, John. And Terry Rogers has a very bright future. What we got to do is he's awake. So he's woke. What we need to get is the rest of our young peoples. We got to get them awake. We got to get them woke. What will it take for young people to take part or to participate in their life? This is your life, young folks, millennials, Generation Z. This is your life. What is it that you want? You cannot expect us to stay around and make sure you're okay. You got to make sure that you're okay. But let me get back to my family. She sung, I think it's Fire and Desire, and boy, did she sing it. It is time for my niece Erica to get on one of those shows where they'll pay you $1 million to win it. I guarantee you, once she get out there, because the kind of talent she has should not be kept among family members or in the living room. So it's time for us to open up that can and let's promote. Erica was born in Meridian, Mississippi. She lived in Huntsville, Alabama. Her and my sister Joanne and her daughter and my great niece and Joanne's granddaughter. They live there now. And for them to invite us up there, we went and we had a wonderful time. And they sung, and I tell you, I heard Gregory, my niece Erica, my sister Joanne, and my sister Rhonda. She sings, I think, whatever the female has for baritone. I think that's soprano. But either way, they sung a cappella. It sounded so good. If Sunday Best still come on, they need to get on that show because they are just that good. The way they harmonized and the way they kept their voice, it was just truly amazing. I gotta say this is that Joanne, and I gotta say Tool Belt too now. I think he's has influence and many hope. So there's so many people that have influence and have helped them to be where they are, and they sing very well. Now let me get to my sister Ro. Boy, I tell you, she did a song. I'll tell you, we're gonna have excerpts from that next week. I'm gonna play some of the things they did. Now, anytime they have like any kind of comedy show, Ro can sing and probably she won't to, but she's definitely gonna make you laugh. So just I want to end it on this note is that we had a wonderful time. I love my family. Thank you for inviting me, and I can't wait to see what Christmas is going to be like. Rhonda invited me to a Christmas party, so we're going and we're gonna have us a real good time. Um, I want to talk about my brother and I had a discussion about term life. Folks, term life. Google it if you don't believe me. And these are my words. Term life is one of the biggest cons that the insurance industry uh, perpetuate on the community, period. Not just black folk, all folk. Now, let me tell you why it's a con. Let's talk about the pros on term life. Um, it's insurance, and the reason why I'm talking about it is that we're gonna talk about the pros, and then it's less expensive. It is so cheap. They'll sell you $1 million worth of insurance for $10 a month. You hear Two Bell talking, brother. Now you know you're not really being realistic. I'm being somewhat facetious, but I want you to understand what that some of you out there in podcast land now has term life insurance, and you're talking about. And my brother and I did my research when I got here. And I knew it was a con, but I didn't know it was as bad as I thought it was. You can only cash in whole life. You cannot cash in term life insurance, folks. And you got to have good health. And so it's term. When that term expires, so does that policy. And that is one of the pros in it, is that it's less expensive. Another thing about it, it can provide a very large death benefit if you die. Chances are you're not going to die. Term life can usually be 10 years or 20 years. Never have I known anyone to have term life to go beyond 20 years. Okay, so let's talk about that. Those are the only pros about it, is that it can be a large payoff, but chances are it ain't not going to pay off. So in the case of, let's say you're paying $70 a month. Let's just round it up to even number. Let's say you're paying $100 a month for $1 million worth of insurance. That's for 20 years. So in 10 years, you will have paid $12,000. In 20 years, you will have paid $24,000. You can only cancel this policy. You cannot cash this policy in and get cash value out of it. That's one of the cons. It does not have any cash value. You cannot cash it in. So what you're betting on is that when you die, you're gonna leave your family $150,000 or $250,000 or $350,000. No, you're not, unless you die within the next 10 or 20 years. Chances are The average life of a person in America is 70 years old. So look at how old you are. If you had this policy 5 years, you're not going to die. Chances are you're not going to die in 15 years from now. If you had it 10 years and you're 50, chances are you're not going to die when you're 60. Chances are, with the way things are now, most folks are living past 70. The ones that die before the promise are the ones that are shortening their life by burning the candle from both ends. What I mean by that, you have adverse behavior, such as drinking heavily, such as consuming cigarettes or tobacco products, period. The number one and number two killers in the world, causes all types of health issues. So if you're not doing these things, chances are you're going to live. And then look at how long your mother lived, how long your father lived. Usually you can just about gauge how long you're going to live by how long your parents live. And so if your mother lived to be past 80, chances are you're going to live that long too. Now, look at me. I'm in pretty good health and I'm 71. So chances are now I'm going to live probably closer to 100. I believe that because I don't have any health issues. And y'all see my body, I posted it. So I still have the cuts and things like that. Look at my body and imagine how my chest look. So I'm in pretty good shape. So chances are, had I had term life insurance, I will have already cashed that in. Okay, let me tell you another con about term life. If your health decline, you will not renew. Now you can usually get whole life once the term life expires. Some companies will give you that opportunity. However, you have to have excellent health. You cannot have high blood pressure. You cannot be a diabetic. You cannot have any of the things that we can say ails people when you start aging. You cannot have any of these things wrong with you. You cannot have you can have not had any type of cancer. You cannot have COPD. If you have any health issue, they will not renew your policy, nor will another insurance company insure you. They usually give you these policies without an examination because they don't care. They know that you're not going to, and they're gambling. They know that when somebody usually die, it's only probably less than 10% of the people die and collect on a whole life policy. Do you realize that if you take this money, let's say that you're doing pretty good and you're paying, say, $60 a month for insurance, you understand that is $720 a year. In 10 years, that's $7,200. In 20 years, that's $14,000. We're going to round that up to $14,400. But we're going to round up to $15,000 that you would have given to someone that it's not going to benefit you at all, because at the end of that, when that terms expire, you lose all of that money you put in there. The only way a term life policy will benefit you if you die. If you die, then that policy will pay your heirs. But if you take that same $60 and put it in your bank account every month, if an emergency come up 5 years from now and saying you paying that out of money, you got $3,500, including the interest, that you could use for that emergency. Say a family member, you can get somebody buried now or cremated for $2,500. So you alone could do that. But if you give that to an insurance company that's going to invest this money in real estate, if you really want to look out for your family, put your money in the bank, and every time you accumulate a large amount, buy stocks, or bond, buy real estate, do what they do. They invest your money in real estate. There's malls, there's apartment buildings, apartments, houses, office complex. That's what they invest your money in and make it grow. And they pay them, the presidents, the vice president, the CAO, they make over $10 million a year. Google the insurance company that you're paying your term life policy to and see what their salary is. How about the people that own stock in that company? See what the dividends are paying. Do you understand that you're making people rich and it's not benefiting you at all? So term life is one of the biggest cons that the insurance industry play on people. It has no cash value And if at certain ages you cannot even get it because it's not designed to protect you or your family, it is designed to take money from you. So I thought I'd talk about that so that you can tell somebody. What I want you to do, a lot of you on vacation now, tell your friends about this podcast. This podcast is very educational. And you know, my brother and I, we had a debate. It took a minute for me to get him to understand that he was just throwing his money away, that if he put that money in the bank. But you know, when someone is talking to you and they're giving you information to help you, to listen to them. Don't interject at all. Just listen to what it is they have to say. Because sometimes, and that's the problem in our community, Black community, is that we're so stubborn and we're so obstinate and we're so set in our ways that we're bottom feeders like catfish, which is a predator, which is a scavenger, meaning they eat shit off the bottom of the lake. The catfish, if you want to catch the catfish, you'll see him come up, but when he eat, it's only because he get tricked. But they down, they getting things that's dead, rotten. It doesn't matter to them. That's what we are. We are bottom feeders. We eat the worst. I mean, we eat fucking chitterlings. White folks don't eat that shit. We have overcame. We don't have to eat chitterlings anymore, folk. Pork's gonna give us high blood pressure. You eating the worst of the pork. You eating fucking stuff that holds shit until the damn pig passes that shit out. We have overcame. We don't have to eat that shit anymore. I don't care how you clean it. I don't care if you clean it till it don't taste like shit or smell like shit. You fucking eating guts. We're not slaves anymore. We don't have to eat that shit. The only reason why they still sell it because niggas buy it. White folks don't buy that shit. Uppity niggas don't buy that shit. Educated niggas don't buy that shit. If you eat chitterlings, wow. If you like that, I imagine so. I imagine so. Eat what you want to eat, but I'm gonna tell you these things because it deals with your health. Now, I watch my family eat all kind of shit. Now, I don't mean that they eat shit. What I mean by that, they eat fast food. I mean, we literally spend a lot of money on fast food and going out and buying. This food has GMO. That's genetically modified. It's a genetically modified organism. It didn't say meat, organism, GMO. You can see it on there. They'll tell you if it's organic. They'll tell you if it doesn't have GMO in it, meaning it's not a genetically modified organism. They are in the laboratory trying to make meat and stuff grow without even going through, we're gonna say, the process. We're gonna without the process, the normal biological process, how it takes for they want to create eggs without coming out the chicken. They want chickens to be full grown in 3 weeks, and they do that by giving it medicine, giving it cyanide, giving it antibiotics. They do all that. Each company that sells chicken, such as KFC, they have their own special formula that they feed their chickens. So chickens eat their formula. They're bitty. Go in 3 weeks, it's a full-blown chicken. That's the reason why that thigh, the wing looks so long. The leg is real big, and then because it's genetically modified, I try not to eat that. Because if you eat this stuff, imagine if it does that to that animal, imagine what it's doing to you. And so how is it that it's not a coincidence? It's Food and Drug Administration. It's not a coincidence. It's by design that they give you food that has drug in it because they want you to keep consuming and keep buying and paying for the food. And evidently Terry Rogers spoke, and Terry Rogers gonna run for office again. I really admire that young man, what he's doing, and how he's setting an example for his peers. I admire anyone that's gonna partake in the political process. I actually live in Birmingham, Alabama now, but Meridian, Mississippi is my home. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I affect the coming election. I have a lobbying company. I'm going to be raising money so that I can buy signs, take out ads, so I can promote the right candidate and keep the wrong candidate out of office. I want to thank you all for listening and watching this podcast. And so again, remember, but let me just tell you this before I close out. Not just term life insurance, folks. All insurance is designed to make money for their company. They have so many rules. They have so many variables that they use to charge you a higher premium. What does credit have anything to do with you getting involved in a wreck? But they use things like that to charge you a higher premium. And I tell you, folks, have a wreck. They will cancel you or your premium go up. They are not designed to lose money or to protect you. The insurance industry is designed. If you have $15,000 and put that in an escrow account, if you have $25,000 in an account, you actually can be self-insured because that's all a company gonna pay is about $25,000. So there's so many ways that you can get around not paying them that money. They make billions and billions of dollars to do nothing. How about life insurance policy? What are you worried about? $150,000? Man, you all know some folks out there that when they die, what they whoever, if you have to give someone $100,000, they're not gonna keep it. They're gonna waste it. If you have to give them $1,000,000, they're not going to keep it. People that keep money are people that earn money. People that earn money know how to utilize that money. They know how to save money. So, and what are you worried about dying and all that kind of stuff anyway? If you do right by your child gonna get they're gonna be raised good. They're gonna get a good education. They're gonna get a good job and live in a good community. Oh, y'all here too, but I thought that I was gonna close this show out without too well talking. That is true. Sometimes when a child gets 18 years old, they do what they want to do and they deviate from the instructions of the parent. So that is true. But that's the deviation of the norm. The norm is, I can tell you about my little niece already. She's let me see, 13 years old. She already knows that she wants to be a doctor at 13. I had a fender bender. I backed up into this old white lady in Shelby County. Shelby County. Now y'all know Shelby County versus Holder. That's where they did away with this these I think separate but equal, not separate but equal. Oh yeah, well, black people set aside for black people, right? They did away with that with Holder versus Shelby County. So Shelby County is a majority white county in Alabama. And you can look at it and suggest maybe they're racist, but they're not. The people there are very, very nice. But it's more white folks than anything. So that when I hit the lady car, she called her daughter. Her daughter came there and everything. Her daughter was really nice. And so she said she had the same thing happen to her in Mississippi. Her son go to, I said, no. So me graduating from Mississippi and graduating from college in Mississippi, asked her what college that her son went to. She said he's an undergrad at Mississippi College. Wow. From Shelby County, undergrad at Mississippi College. You know what that tell me? He's going to be a lawyer. I said, he's going to be a lawyer. She said, yes, he's planning on being a lawyer. And then she said she had another son. Wow, he's a student at UAB. I said, wow, for real? I graduated from UAB. So what's his major? Microbiology. I said, oh, he's going to be a doctor. She said, yes. She said, and then she went on to say, he take the MCAT next week. Wow. See, understand what white folks do. They set out for their children what it is that they want them to do. We don't do that. We do everything that we can to stop our children from doing better than us. We do everything we can to keep our children from going past go. We do everything we can to not promote our children. I'm not talking about all of us, because my niece up there, Erica's doing good, and she's doing right by her child. And I have children that are doing good, and I have children that could do better. And it ain't because I didn't do my part in due diligence. They chose upon themselves to do what it is that they're doing. So sometimes it doesn't make a difference. But white folks, boy, I tell you, they got it going on. They stick together as a group. They don't have this kind of conflict like we do. They don't sell each other out. They do everything they can. I go into the stores. I went into a Subway, and folks, the person that owned it was an Arab. And I'm saying that I don't mean to be disrespectful or being a racist. I'm just saying that as a way of identifying a group. It could not have been from Arabia, could have been from India. But when I say Arab, I'm talking about someone from the Middle East own that Subway store. They have infiltrated our community. They already own all we're going to call them the convenience stores just about. They own either them or South Africans. But now, hold up. And then I go into a part almost in Helena, Alabama, and stop at a Dairy Queen. And how about and a person from the Middle East owned it too. He had his daughter working there. Both of them had their children working in there. You go into all the cell phone shops, see how they infiltrate and come into our country. They are very, very, very respectful. How about, I mean, up here? Down there, they act as if, when I say down there, I'm talking about Meridian, and some of the stores that you go into, they act as if you are beholden to them. They don't appreciate you. But I can tell you, when you go into those Middle Eastern stores up here, thank you, sir. They are so polite. Well, you go into that one on 8th Street, well, that's I think they in front of Wendy. That fat health in there look like a warthog and smell worse because it got all whatever they cooking up in there, tobacco juice, garlic, or whatever the hell it is. They so disrespectful up in there. And I'm saying black folks don't even care. So we got to really, really come together. If we don't know what to do, we need to start observing other groups and find out what it is and see what it is that they're doing. Just observe them and watch what they do and do as they do. And we could be better as a people. We ain't going to ever overcome if we don't start doing things together as a group. Stop being so argumentative and listen when a person is speaking to you. Obviously, they know something that you've done. It doesn't matter how old that person is or how young that person is. One thing about it, if there's nothing wrong with you mentally, you can always understand when someone is teaching you something, and you can always understand when a person is speaking wisdom, because it tells you that in that Bible. But from the mouth of babe comes understanding, and that's that Great Hope version of it. You know, I'm paraphrasing, or wisdom. And so I'm gonna read the notes now, and say it. Kay, hello. Kay, can you kind of like let the people see a glimpse of you and the baby? I want them to see that, and just say hi, and then just come up for momentarily. So hi from Kay in Brooklyn, and hello, and thank you for watching. And I want to congratulate Terry Rogers also. Mike, I wonder where you are right now. I gotta wonder where you are. You can't do it on your computer? Okay. Come on over here, Kay. Kay is coming up here now, so we're gonna pause. Oh, look at Kay and the baby. Say hey. Y'all see she got hair just like me. See, y'all see that hair just like me. Okay, babe. All right, thank you. Anyway, John Robert, I want to thank you for listening. Mike, as always, thank you. John, again. When you hear John Terry Rogers speak, man, it makes you so proud that he's a young black soldier. He's a leader in the making, and he always let his light shine. It's not always about him. And I gotta say kudos to you, Mrs. Rogers and Mr. Rogers. I gotta say that Terry's mother makes sure that she got the bend in his mouth, and she makes sure that he don't deviate from it. And she's done very well by him, because at an early age, by the time he was 17, he knew what it is that he wanted to do, and he challenged the system at an early age. He ran statewide. I'm proud of him for doing that. We're gonna hear from him in the future. This young man, whether I'm living or dead, probably will be president of the United States one day. I look forward to that, because I'm gonna try to hang around and watch that. Yeah, it was Fire and Desire, Rick James, but they done that song. John Barber, again, I want to thank you. Phoenix, Arizona. I just want to know one thing. Is the weather nice out there? Not at night on the desert. Again, I want to thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good evening. I love you guys out there. Thank you. Make sure y'all tell somebody, and y'all be safe. Happy holidays.